In preparation for my relocation, I stopped and took a look at my YouTube channel, and I discovered that we had made this pivotal point of 500 subscribers. And so I'm so grateful, so thankful, and so appreciative that you are here tuning, listening in, and that we have made this very humble beginning. This humble beginning of this channel, and there's so much more to unfold, because I'm in this continual, perpetual, just drive and passion to deliver even more, and I seek to continue doing so. And so if you have ever stumbled upon my channel and derived any value from my content, please, I never ask for subscribers, because I think it's kind of cliche, to be honest, but please do subscribe if you feel called to do so. It would be tremendously helpful. And so I'm currently in process with my partner of moving, which means that you may never see this background again. And I'll make sure to set up something real nice for you, set up the lighting and all this. It'll be a work in progress, trust me, but we'll get there. And you'll be free from the highway noises up the road, which you may have noticed. And so that will improve the audio quality. We've found a very beautiful home, and I can't wait to move in finally and to get all this in order. But in this relocating process, I just kind of contemplated on the emphasis and the importance, really, and the potential that lies in moving and relocating, both internally in our lives as well as externally in our circumstances. And so I already moved to a completely brand new location a year back to be with my partner, and that meant that I left my family members, my friends, all the places that I knew in my hometown where I'd kind of get stuck, really. And upon relocating, I discovered that when we shift our outer circumstances, there is this gap inside. There is this opening, this widening of our old belief systems. They're kind of exposed to new air. They're allowed to be aired out to when it's summertime and you bring out the mattress or your pillows, your blankets, right, to air them out in the new fresh summer sun. Well, it's sort of like that, because sure, it's the same old mattress, it's the same blanket and pillow, right? But you just liven them up, you refresh things with a new breeze of air, a new potential for transformation. And that is what it was. And I've undergone so much transformation within the last year. I've you know what? I've been able to cry for the first time in years within this past year. What a transformation that is. And there's just so much continually unfolding and happening, and small crises and everything. It's so exciting to be in a life of change. Because I keep repeating this so often, but I'll keep repeating it again. The only constant in life is change. And so to be in this flow of change is to be with life, is to be in the flow of life. And to understand that in order to be in this flow of the utmost highest potential for your life, for your personal configuration of this mind, body, temple potential, you need to be in this allowance, unfolding and facilitation of change. And that may mean that you are willing to take chances, to risk sometimes, and to move about, to travel, to discover new things, to see the world, to see what's out there, to move from one social circle to another. If you feel unsatisfied in your job, find a new job. I found a new job. I got hired as a personal trainer in a gym. How about that, right? Just try something new. Because when we try something new, when we shift our circumstances, it opens up this gaping wound, which it really is, of our old habituated, and oftentimes very narrow pathways, narrow pathways that we have just got stuck in. We have got stuck in the groove of who we imagine ourselves to be. And so our own self-identity, this construct, this belief system, it needs to be torn down. It's like the weeds growing in the garden. Well, sure, we can trim them from time to time, and we may never be able to uproot them completely because they spread like wildfire. Identity is the same way. It's this continually spreading weeds, this wildfire in your garden that's just, it's you can never get rid of it. But the beauty is to embrace that, yeah, it's there. And you can use it as fertilizer, use it as compost to pave the way for something new, and to get to the point, as I'm rambling on and on, is to see that when you shift all of that, when you find a new place to be, when you travel the world, when you get something to see that you haven't seen before, when you find new people in your life, it means that the people and places that you get to and discover, they've never seen you before. They don't know who you are. And so you are free of the constraints of the old you. You can be brand new, right? And so when we are allowed this room to reinvent ourselves, it really brings to the forefront both the old habitual ways, because they will coming creeping back in. They will show their ugly faces, and you will see that you are up against these old patterns, and you'll really get to witness the evolution that you have undergone, and you'll also be able then to completely shift your identity, because these new outer circumstances don't know who you are. So you can be whoever you want to be. And that is permitted by who you are able to step into in yourself. And I want to really bring attention to the funny thing, which is that when we relocate or when we travel somewhere, it is often with this internal promise of being able to invite something new in, to evolve, to discover something, to really transform something within. That is the purpose of relocating and traveling. But what we often find is that, you see, I went traveling far abroad in the world in hopes of discovering something, in hopes of finding salvation within myself. And what I discovered then is that I might as well just have stayed home, because sure, it was necessary for me to move and to see that, yeah, whatever I was looking for here, I could have found at home. But I wasn't able to find it at home. I was insistent that I needed to go somewhere else in the world to discover whatever I was looking for. And upon going there, I discovered that, yeah, all of that change that I was seeking out here in the world was already to be found within. And so it is very ironic in this way. And I want you to be reminded that the potential is within you. And we all seek here, I'm sure, to usher in a new way of consciousness into the world, to make the world a beautiful place. And you know where to begin? Within. It is your job, as well as mine, as well as your loved ones and everybody near you, to step up to the plate within ourselves, and to allow life to step up to you too. Because when you sacrifice bits of yourself, when you notice these old tendencies and choose something else for yourself, that allows the influx of life to make greatness within you, to show beauty through you, and to allow you to be that vessel for that new level of consciousness that we so desperately need in the world at this very time. And so take the hands of your loved ones and be the representation of whatever that is in your view. Whatever makes your heart flutter, follow that. Because you know what the bees follow, what the birds dance and follow by. It is the rhythm of life, and you feel that rhythm intuitively. We all do. And it's so funny that I was just contemplating this other day that, you know, as I've evolved and grown and just become more attuned to life, I discovered that this intuitive knowing that I stumble upon more and more so, I actually had. I already was aware of that all throughout my life. I just didn't notice. I was aware but unaware at the same time. And so to be able to bring awareness to these unaware parts in us just allows us to be more in tune with life. And that is really the beginning of the transformation ahead. And I'm really just touched in this moment because you see, I've made it so far in my life and I have so much more ahead. And that is the promise of this channel. It is to be in evolution alongside me, because I'm just here to share from my heart, from my experience, and to be a vessel for that, for anybody willing to hear, and with the eyes to hear, and the eyes, the ears to hear, and the eyes to see. There's so much beauty in the world, and I want to bring attention to that you are such a magnificent, beautiful being, and there's so much untapped potential in you. And in one way, that potential is already fully realized, because you are that most pristine, most divine, most liberated part of the divine principle already. It is only about remembering that, because you already know. You already know. And there is so much here. And I'm happy to celebrate this life with you. Happy to celebrate this 500 subscriber count, this pivotal point. And I want to take a moment with you to just breathe and to notice the life force flowing through your veins. So grateful. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much for beautifying my life with your very presence, because you see, I make these videos without a script, as I'm sure is very apparent from this video. I make these videos without a script, and that means I'm simply just tuning in to you listening now. And by way of you listening, we are already attuned to one another. And I just want to bring light to the fact that in this beautiful exchange that we're in, you and I, we discover unity. And I'm just so deeply touched, deep in my heart, and I really don't know whether I should cry or laugh. But I'm so grateful to be here with you. Unscripted, unfiltered, pristinely I, seeing you as myself. So if you wish to continue this unfolding of my very little humble channel right here, please, please, please subscribe. And I promise to keep delivering, to keep showing up, to keep evolving out loud with you, and to be a light of recognition in this world of beauty and marvel and miraculous potential that it is. So please, take care. Take the hands of your loved ones, tell them you love them just as much as I love you. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.